Today I want to go over project 9. First question says, write a program with the following input-output. Enter a string of 10 grades. We want to count the number of A's, number of B's, C's, D's, and F's. So in my project, I start with question 1. I use a cout statement to ask the user enter a string of 10 grades. I define a string grades. I can say C and overwrite arrow grades. After I get the grades, I want to count to see how many A's I have. I can write a for loop. I can say for int I equal to 0, I less than grades dot length I plus plus. I define a counter for count A. I initialize it with 0. I define count B. I initialize it with 0. I define count C. And then count D. And then count F. In my for loop, I say if grades I is equal to big A, or grades I is equal to small a, count A plus plus. I can do the same thing for B. And then for C, and for D, and then for F. I can also count E's. I have count A, count B, count C, count D, and count F. Then I can display the result. I can display number of A's, number of B's, number of C's, number of D's, number of E's, If I run my project, and I go to my output, I need to organize my output. I go back to my Visual Studio. And I run it. If I run it and I go to my output, if I put AB, it will count the number of A's, number of B's. I have 3 A's. I have 1 B. I have 3 C's, 1 D, 0 E, and 2 F's. So my program is working. I need to make a small change. If I run it again and I go to my output, my program is working. Let's take a look at the second question. Question number 2 is saying enter 7 integer numbers. I start with displaying that message. I want to get 7 integer numbers. I define int x. I have a for loop. I say for int I equal to 0. I less than 7. I plus plus. I want to find the average, maximum, and minimum. I define another integer, max, and another one, min. I want to find the average. I define int sum and average. I go from 0 to 7. I say C and X. I say sum plus equal X. I initialize the sum to 0. Whenever I get a number, I add it to the sum. I can assume I can get a number first here. And then I can assume max and min are equal to this number. And then I can get 6 other numbers. Add them to the sum. And then I can say average is equal to sum divided by 7. I can display sum and average. In my for loop, I need to put a condition. I say if x is greater than max, max is equal to x. I can say if x is smaller than min, min is equal to x. I can display max and min. Let's try it. If I put A, B, C, D, if I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, sum is 27, average is 3, max is 7, and min is 1. So 27 divided by 7 it says the sum is 27. If I divide it by 7, it will give me 3. Let's check this one. I go back to my code. If I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, sum is 27. When I get the x first, I need to define the sum here. And when I get the x, I will say sum plus equal x to add it there. And then every time I get an x, I will say sum plus equal x. Let's try it again. If I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, sum is 28. And then if I look at the average is 4. So when the sum is 28, if I divide it by 7, I get 4. Max is 7 and min is 1. So this question, you want to display the average, maximum and minimum. I can go to my program, I then display the average. Maximum and minimum. If I put some grades here, if I put A, B, B, C, if I put some numbers here, let's try it again. If I put A, B, B, C, D, D. If I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, I get the average of 4, max is 7, and min is 1. Let's take a look at question number 3. Question number 3 says this is a temperature conversion table. We want to use this formula to convert temperatures. We can use a for loop to do this. So in order to do this, I want to first get the start and the end. I go to my Visual Studio. I say question 3. I use a cout statement to display this. I want to get the start and the end. I use a CNS statement to get the start and the end. I use another cout statement to display C and F, and then go to the new line. I use another cout statement to display some dashes. I want to display the first number. I say for int I equal to start, I less equal to end. I can say I plus plus. In my cout statement, I display start. And then I want to convert that. So I can say double if. And then if I want to convert it, I can multiply 5 by C. So I say if equal to 5 times start. I divide it by 9. And then I add 32. And then I can display if I put A, B, 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 C, if I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, if I put 32 and 42, my program is displaying 32. Rather than start, if I put I and I run my program, if I go to my output, I can put A, B, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I put 32 and 42, It starts from 32, it goes to 42. It displays the conversion. So after I display the I put some space. This is the space that I put there. And I run it again. If I put some grades here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I put 32 and 42, it displays 32, 49, 50. It keeps going on until it gets to 42. And it displays all of those numbers. If I want to get exactly 2 decimal points, I can make a change here. I can say cout fixed, set precision. And display I. In order to do that, I need to include the IOMAN IP. So I put the IOMAN IP here. Then I can use fixed and set precision to, let's try it. If I put A, B, C, D, if I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, if I put 32 and 42, I get 49, and I get exactly 2 decimal points. I can put some space there before F, and I run it again. If I put if I put A, B, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. If I put 32 and 42, I get those numbers. So let's take a look at next question. You want to ask the user to enter the table size. I go back to my program. I say cout. So I want to get 2 different numbers, 10 and 100. I define int first and second. I get first and second. I want to display these characters. If I just use a cout statement, if I just use a cout statement and display them, and if I use another cout statement to display some lines here, I can write a for loop here. I say for int I equal to first. And then I say I less than second. I need to find a way to convert dollar to pound. So I wrote some code here that converts the dollar to other currencies and it displays them. So if I run this program and if I go to my output, I can put 10 and 100. If I put 10 and 100, it displays different numbers and then converts them to different currencies. I'm using fixed and set precision 2 to display only 2 decimal points. We could improve this output by displaying euro, British pound, and yen, which there are special characters that are used to display that. So if you want to improve this, you can change the first line. If you search and find the ASCII code for each one, then you can change them. The last question is saying enter 10 yes and no votes. So you want to ask the user to enter 10 yes and no votes. For conversion, I'm using the exchange rates for different currencies. Last question, you just want to say cout. Enter 10 yes and no's. And then you want to define a string count. And then you want to get that count. So if I want to count the y and no's, I can write a for loop here. I can say for int I equal to 0, I less than count dot length I plus plus. I can say if count I if count I is equal to small y, or count I is equal to big Y. Then I can improve, I can add to the count Y. So I say count Y equal to 0. And then I can say count N equal to 0. Then I can say count Y plus plus. And I can say count N plus plus. So when it's Y, I add to the Y. When it's N, I add to the N. Finally, I want to display them. I say C out. Yes, and then votes. And then I display double left arrow. Count Y. I can, if I want to display the stars, I can say for int I equal to 0, I less than count Y, I plus plus, cout star. And then I can do the same thing for no votes. So I'm getting some errors here. I'm saying for int I equal to 0. Count Y has to be integer. Let's try this. If I put 10 and 100, I get the table. If I put y, n, y, n, y, I get yes votes and I get no votes. So it's counting. After I display the yes votes, I say cout end and I run it. If I put 10 and 100, if I put y, n, y, I get 3 stars and then 3 stars because I have 3 n's and I have 3 y's. So I want you guys to finish this project.